I'll admit I was skeptical. For years, 3D printing meant tinkering, leveling beds with a piece of paper, unclogging nozzles, and praying over the first layer like it was a fragile ritual. Then I unboxed the X1 Carbon. I didn't start with a calibration cube. I threw a 14-hour multicolor print at it straight out of the box, a complex model with overhangs that would usually make my Prusa sweat. I hit print from my phone while sitting on the couch and went to bed. The next morning, it was done. Perfect layers, zero spaghetti. It felt less like using a workshop tool and more like using a microwave. That is the magic and the danger of this machine. Design and build quality. The X1C looks like it belongs in a design studio, not a garage. The aluminum and glass enclosure is sleek, rigid, and surprisingly compact for its build volume. Unlike the bed slingers, like the Prusa MK4 or Ender 3, where the bed moves back and forth, this is a CoreXY machine. The bed only moves up and down. This makes it incredibly stable at high speeds. However, premium doesn't mean quiet. This machine is loud. The chamber fan sounds like a small hairdryer, and when it's moving at full speed, the vibration is noticeable. If you plan to keep this in your home office, you will need noise-canceling headphones or a closet to put it in. Key features in action. The AMS, Automatic Material System. If you buy the X1C, get the combo with the AMS. It's not just for multicolor prints, it's for laziness. I keep PLA, PETG, and support material loaded simultaneously. When a spool runs out, it can automatically switch to a backup spool. The catch, it hates cardboard spools, like brands like Overture or Polymaker. The rollers slip or cardboard dust gums up the gears. You'll find yourself wrapping spool edges in electrical tape or printing plastic adapter rings, a primitive fix for such a high-tech machine. LiDAR and AI detection. The printer uses a LiDAR sensor to scan the first layer and calibrate flow. In practice, this is 90% effective. It has saved me from a few failed prints by pausing when it detected a blob or spaghetti. However, it occasionally throws false positives on textured PEI plates, forcing you to resume the print manually. It's cool tech, but don't trust it blindly. The poop chute. To change colors, the printer cuts the filament, purges the old color, and wipes the nozzle. It creates little nuggets of waste plastic that shoot out the back. For a multicolor model, you can end up with more waste than actual product. It is shocking the first time you see the pile of plastic poop behind your desk. Performance and daily reality. Speed versus quality. The speed is addictive. I printed a standard benchy boat in 17 minutes. But here's the reality. At Ludicrous speeds, the parts are weaker and the finish is matte rather than glossy. For functional parts, I actually slow it down to typical speeds similar to a tuned Prusa to ensure layer adhesion. Engineering materials. This is where the carbon in the name matters. I tested it with PA6CF, or nylon carbon fiber, and PC, or polycarbonate. The hardened steel nozzle and extruder gears handle abrasive filaments without chewing themselves up. Experience: with the engineering plate and a layer of glue stick, nylon prints surprisingly well. However, physics still applies. Large nylon parts will warp if you don't preheat the chamber properly. The chamber gets warm, about 50 degrees C, but it doesn't have an active heater. So for massive ABS nylon parts, you may still fight warping on the corners. Limitations and trade-offs. The walled garden. This is the Apple of 3D printers. The parts are proprietary. If a nozzle clogs badly, you aren't just swapping a cheap brass tip, you're likely swapping the whole hot end assembly. It's easy to do, 2 screws and 2 plugs, but it locks you into their ecosystem. Customer support. This is the biggest red flag. In my experience, and based on recent community reports, support response times are slow, often taking 3 to 7+ days for a meaningful reply. If this is a mission-critical machine for a business, you need to buy spare parts before you need them because you can't rely on overnight support. Maintenance. Despite the no tinkering claim, you still have maintenance. The carbon rods need cleaning, do not grease them, and the belts need tensioning eventually. I also found the PTFE tubes wear out faster than expected due to the constant friction of the AMS loading-unloading. Final verdict. The Bambu Lab X1 Carbon is currently the benchmark for consumer 3D printing. It has made my other printers gather dust simply because it removes the friction between having an idea and holding the part. Buy this if you value your time more than your money. You want multicolor capabilities or easy support interface material. Using PLA support for PLA prints is a game changer. You need to print abrasive engineering materials like carbon fiber nylon out of the box. Skip this if. Noise is a deal breaker. It is too loud for a bedroom or quiet office. You are on a budget. The Bambu Lab P1S offers 90% of the performance for significantly less money. You lose the LiDAR and nicer screen, which frankly you can live without. You demand open source. If you want to modify every aspect of your machine firmware, stick with a Voron or a Prusa.